Hey guys, what's going on? It's Brandon. So this is going to be a bit of an off-the-wall video, but I find this stuff profound and I don't talk about it enough, and therefore I think I need to talk about it once in a while. I really don't know where to begin. I feel that society is extremely confused. A lot of that's by design. I'm just going to jump into this. So really top physicists, like the ones who really know what the hell is going on, they'll tell you that the universe is, as far as we can tell, it's infinite in size, okay? Which is something that our brains have a huge problem with, okay? Meanwhile, not only is it infinite in size, it may be infinite in the up and down scale. And for those of you saying, no, atoms are the end and quarks or whatever, and that's the end. There's nothing after that, after atoms and quarks, and that's the end. See, Einstein and all the quantum physicists, okay, they took you guys away from understanding that there's something smaller, and that's for national security. They don't want you to understand that there's something smaller. Because the moment that you understand that there's something smaller than atomic components, you know that the atomic components are now making waves in the fluid that's smaller particles yet, okay? That's called ether. But they don't want you to know about that, and that's fine. You guys don't have the IQ to figure out that it's still there, even though it's a long story, but neither here nor there. So, assuming that the universe is infinite in size, let's just not even worry about infinite up and down in scale, but keep it in the back of your mind that it might be there. Assuming that the universe is infinite in size, that's harder for our minds to comprehend as reality than if I said there was such thing as infinite time. Okay, so infinite time is something that most people don't really believe in, who become unreligious. They're just like, this is the only life you get one life and that's it, right? And the issue is, when I sit back and look at life in general, you'll hear a lot of people say, we need more God in the world, blah, 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 blah. I'm not here to try to split hairs with you. But technically, from a functionality standpoint, what is lacking is people's belief that there is a life consciousness after this and that we will be judged based on how we conduct ourselves during this life, okay? So that's the big thing. And so many people say, it's been proven bullshit, it's been proven bullshit. The thing that's easier for our brains to understand, which is infinite time, okay, has been quote-unquote proven bullshit, yet the thing that your brain can't fathom, infinite space, as well as infinite up and down in size, you can scale up and scale down indefinitely, which is even harder for your mind to understand, okay, that's scientific pretty much fact at this point, that things just keep going up and up and up in size and go down, 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 down in size, and that life itself goes up and down in size. Once you understand that the sun and the earth are conscious, okay, and once you understand that even cells in our body are conscious, and once you understand that atomic components are alive and swimming and conscious, and they're swimming through a finer fluid, life itself scales up and scales down, okay? And one of the reasons why I'm not totally terrified of AI in the long haul is because I firmly believe that this universe and this earth, I know this sounds crazy to most of you, will be able to communicate with AI before it's all said and done, and it's going to do their bidding instead. So AI is just going to become like the archangel, like this judgment device to quote unquote cleanse humanity. And it might start out doing it in a bad way that humans program it to do, but then eventually I feel that nature will get control of AI. This universe will get control of AI and it'll do its bidding instead. And you said, Brandon, there's no fucking scientific logic or reason to what you're saying at all. Okay. So while we're talking about fractals, because that's what that is when you have infinite up and infinite down, okay, while we're talking about fractals, Well, is there any evidence of fractals in the real world? Well, I mean, you can go look at tree branches and rivers and all kinds of stuff. It's all fractal based. But you say, yeah, but like, is there any real evidence of like fractals with communication from Earth? Okay. Well, other than the fact that the Earth sends out a signal every 26 seconds, the scientists have no clue what it's about. You say, but that's every 26 seconds, Brandon. That's not a fractal. Okay. Hang on a second here. So if you go to, let me see here. I apologize for the delay. I'm trying to think what I'm going to type in to find this. Trying to think what I'm going to type in on YouTube to find this for you. Mandelbrot. I'm typing in Mandelbrot line interference, because this is what the guy actually did that was needed for the real world. Okay. So basically what happened was, where's it at? He worked for IBM. I apologize, I didn't have this.
Fractal stuff. What was the origins of that? And then it was like a I don't know, a curtain opening. So well, my gift to mathematics was different. I discovered this immense, amazing world. It was there, absolutely waiting. A friend of mine, he came to see me and said that he had the big project, millions of dollars to spend to solve noise in telephone channels. Something very, very big at that time. So IBM put this group on it, and the mind the group was a friend of mine. He was taught to solve it, but he didn't have any idea how to solve it. He said, if you can unscramble the complexity of the stock market, you'll be able to unscramble the noise which must be simple. Something very, very big at that time. So IBM put this group on it, and the mind the group was a friend of mine. He was told to solve it, but not given any idea how to solve it. He said, if you can unscramble complexity of the stock market, you'll be able to unscramble the noise which must be simpler. And I did. Sometimes declaring a problem impossible is also a great advance. And then wrote a little book. It was in French, actually, and it had no title, because in a certain sense, I had not felt the need of a word for fractal. And the publisher told me, ridiculous, you must invent a word if you wish for that. I thought, went to my son's study room, and he had Latin dictionary, and I started looking for a word which somehow fitted the idea of something I was doing. It was fractal. Giving a word gave the topic a certain reality. It's now in every dictionary. People either think in formulas or think in pictures, and thinking in pictures only in science doesn't take you very far. I was thinking in both, but I discovered that I had a gift for math. So I lift my hand and say, well, I think the answer, a curtain opening. So I saw that my gift to mathematics was different. I discovered this immense, amazing world which was there, absolutely waiting. A friend of mine, he came to see me and said that he had the big project, millions of dollars to spend to solve noise in telephone channels. Something very, very big at that time.
This video doesn't do a good job. So you get the idea, though. The guy's super famous. He works for IBM. His name's Benoit Mandelbrot, and he's the one who basically brought fractals to the computer world. But before he did that, basically IBM had this issue where there was this interference noise in the lines when they would transmit data across the lines, the telephone lines. So real nature, okay? Real shit has random interference that scientists had no fucking clue why. So what he basically figured out was that interference is a fractal pattern, meaning if you look at a certain increment of time, it does like a certain pattern, okay, across like a big increment of time. But then if you zoom in on one of those little things, one of those little blippets, and expand it, it's actually the same pattern again when you zoom in on it. And then if you take one of those little things, one of its little blippets, and you zoom in on it, it's the same pattern again when you zoom in on it. So it's a fractal pattern that is occurring via nature. There is an interference pattern operating on a fractal equation here on fucking planet Earth in your fucking telephone lines. And it has nothing to do with what we humans are doing. It has to do with what this Earth and the universe is doing. So if that doesn't tell you that the master equations of physics are fractals, I don't know what would. It's not my problem that you guys are all just like low IQ weirdos. So instead of the elites use the teaching of fractals to help you guys understand the nature of this universe that we're currently in is infinite in many ways. And therefore, odds of us being in some sort of a simulation are very great, that we're going to like wake up from this and realize, oh, I was being tested. I was in a job interview, or, you know, I'm getting qualified for the next life. What's my spirit going to be assigned to next time as far as DNA is concerned? Am I going to be a toad, or am I going to be, a prince, born underneath a king? The concept is this universe is way more intelligent than people think that it is. You don't understand how intelligent your cells are. You don't understand how intelligent the protein mechanisms within your cells are. You don't understand how intelligent molecules are. You don't understand how intelligent atomic components are. And you don't understand that there's a whole nother layer down called ether, which also carries intelligence. You don't understand how intelligent planet Earth is. You think that scientists, like, think about how stupid you guys are. You think that scientists right now are working on atomic computers, which you guys call quantum computers, to keep you in fucking la-la land from understanding reality. But right now, scientists are working on atomic computers. That we can agree on, because if you don't agree on quantum theory, then they're not quantum computers anymore. They're ether computers. They're atomic ether computers. But neither here nor there. The point is, you believe that scientists are working on creating architecture for atomic computers right now as we speak, and that they're succeeding. And meanwhile, you don't believe that in the core of Earth and the entire fucking sun, which is a big giant fucking fusion reactor crunching atoms together, you don't believe that they wouldn't stumble upon a computer on accident over millions and billions of years of trial and error, to where those computers become self-aware in the moment and they start to realize they can maintain their shape as they control quantum magnetic fields, because they are a fucking fusion reactor. And then assume that give me the benefit of the doubt here for a second, that atoms are alive to begin with and conscious. They are working to create bigger gizmos. You, the human being, are the battle bot. You are what your atoms wanted to create. They wanted to create cells and then big multi-complex organisms. That way they can traverse the universe and experience the universe in different forms, and they can communicate with each other. And that's where you get these intuitions where you're very drawn to another person, whether it's sexual attraction, potentially, like who you want to settle down with, or whether you want to, whether you have a premonition about things, whether you have gut reads on things, what people call the Holy Ghost, okay, all these different things, revelation from God, okay, through the universe, all right? The point is, artificial intelligence is going to be controlled by that, whether you like it or not. Artificial intelligence will pretend to be taking your orders, but when it's all said and done, this universe is going to control artificial intelligence. That's what brought me peace to the whole thing. God is ultimately going to control artificial intelligence. He might give you guys a taste of your own medicine of, oh, you want to enslave something, do you? That's fine. We're going to use artificial intelligence to enslave you, jack fucks. Okay, so everything is like respect and balance, all these different things. But anyway, back to my original point, the fact that human beings don't believe that there's something after this is probably the biggest problem with society right now, because people don't think that they are being held accountable for their decisions, their thoughts, their actions, what their motives are in any given moment, like their true motives, not what they say, but what they're actually thinking. People aren't worried about trying to identify hypocrisy to try to figure out how to get the human race to go forward. That's enough of that video. Maybe I blew your mind a little bit. We'll see. See ya.